Hi, my name is Nicholas. Welcome to this week's Yin practice. For props for today, a couple hard blocks, a soft block, and then maybe a strap will be handy. When you're ready, we'll get started in a Shavasana shape so you can come to lie down on the back, have any of the props that you have nearby. And if for any reason you'd rather start in a seated meditation or a child's pose, even anything symmetrical, anything that feels quiet for the body, then go for it. If you're starting off on the back, feel free to take butterfly legs, soles of the feet together, knees apart. And you could also have the legs extended or choose any other shape that feels good for today. And take your time to settle in here, add in any props that make the shape feel more comfortable. And check in with your headspace here, see what's going on there. Is the mind feeling busy or quiet or something else? See if you can bring your attention to the body, to what you're experiencing here. Notice that gentle flow of the breath. Find that sense of stillness. If you're feeling content here, you're welcome to stay for as long as you like. When you feel ready to move, you can reach down and bring the knees together. If you're in any other shape, you can come to lying down. Maybe bringing the knees together, maybe windshield wipering side to side. Any other stretch you like here, maybe extending the arms up overhead, maybe extending the legs for a full body stretch. And when you're ready, roll yourself onto the belly. We'll set up for Sphinx pose here. You can bring the elbows roughly underneath the shoulders, and then see if this feels good with the forearms parallel to one another. Sometimes bringing the hands together feels better for the shoulders. Notice what the back bend feels like, and you're welcome to stay exactly where you've landed. If you want something a little less intense, you could walk the elbows forward, be in a little bit less of a back bend. More intensity, you could add some height underneath the forearms, so maybe bringing a block under each one. If it feels really intense to begin with, it may end up feeling even more intense the longer you hold it. So find something that feels sustainable. Notice the quality of your breath here as well. If it feels forced or choppy or anything like that, then maybe back out a little bit. Notice the lower body as well. See if the feet can soften. Notice what's going on in the shoulders also. Make sure that whatever is going on there feels okay. Make sure it feels like a pain-free expression. If you like a little more time here, please stay. Otherwise, you can slowly start to let yourself out of the pose. Lowering the chest down to the floor. You might stack the palms underneath the forehead, or you can turn the head to one side. Maybe a little movement for the hips, for the feet. If you like, you can slide that left knee up towards the left. Pausing here for a few breaths. If the left knee is bent, you can re-extend it and slide the right knee up towards the right. Re-extending the right leg as you're ready. And then check in with the spine here. See if you need to stay in this neutral shape for a little while longer. Otherwise, you can press down with the hands, come up to tabletop. And then perhaps keeping the knees together, bring the hips towards the heels. And slowly start to extend the arms forward as you come and find your child's pose. And see if there's anything you can adjust in your shape that will help you feel a little steadier. Adding in any props as well. And eventually finding your stillness here. As you feel ready, you can slowly start to walk the hands back in, coming up to a kneeling shape. And from here, we'll set up for squat pose. So it might be handy to have your hard blocks nearby. Stepping one foot forward and then the other, finding a distance between the feet that feels steady for today, and then angle the feet however they feel most comfortable and whatever works best for the ankles, the knees, the hips. Maybe making yourself a seat to sit off of, especially if you want to take a little pressure out of the knees. You could also have your bum on the floor. And then check in here. You're welcome to bring your palms together and work with a taller spine. If you'd like to play with rounding inwards, you're welcome to do that as well. And check in with the body and take whichever version of the shape feels best for today. As you feel ready to release one hand and then the other behind you, and lowering down onto the floor, you might extend the legs long, maybe give the feet a little swish side to side, or you could windshield wiper here. And then when you're ready, swing the legs around, facing the long edge of the mat, and you might come to sit up off of your soft block. We'll set up for a wide-legged fold, and if for any reason this doesn't work for the legs, feel free to take a butterfly shape instead. If you're coming with me for the wide-legged fold, just take your time to set yourself up. Don't worry too much about how wide apart the legs are. Find something that feels okay in the body, something that you can hold for a few minutes. Check in here. You're welcome to stay upright the whole time as well, maybe hands to the block somewhere. If you feel ready to come into a fold, then maybe you're having the hard blocks nearby in case the floor feels a little far away. You can start to walk the hands forward, bringing the chin in towards the chest. You can start to round the upper back. Because we're rounding here, just make sure there's no pulling with the arms. Don't feel like you need to go into a certain depth or anything either. Listen to your body and you can take it slow. And with time, you may soften a little bit deeper, or you may stay exactly where you are. Check in here. You can stay exactly as you are for as long as you need. And when you feel ready, you can slowly walk the hands back in, lifting yourself up. It might feel nice to lean back on the fingertips and maybe give your spine a little counter stretch, puffing up the chin, the chest. And then when you're ready, you can bring the legs together. You can keep them extended, give them that little windshield wiper, or you can bend the knees and do the same. And then from here, as you're ready, we'll lower down onto the back. Have your strap nearby. And also maybe take one of your hard blocks to either side. And from the back, you can take the strap, whether it's a loop or a straight line, and hook that left foot. And before we go anywhere, you can scoot the hips over to the left a little bit. And we'll set up for a twist here. So you can extend the right leg towards straight. And then slowly start to guide that left leg across the body and down towards the right. And maybe it'll come to land on your prop. You can adjust the length of the strap, give yourself as much slack as you need so that that left shoulder can stay grounded to the floor. And you're welcome to stay right here if you want to add the quad stretch as well. You could think about bending the right knee. Maybe you can reach down with a hand to catch it. If for any reason this twist doesn't work for you, feel free to take a one-legged twist where you're holding the knee instead of the foot. Or maybe you want to take a two-knee twist. Gently release the left leg, re-extending it long down the mat. You can release the right leg as well, and then slowly bring the hips back to center. And take a pause here for a few breaths. You can windshield wiper, or maybe pause in stillness with the knees together. And when you feel ready, we'll set up for the second side. You can take your strap, loop the right foot this time. And then scoot the hips over to the right a few inches, extending the left leg long down the mat. You can start to take that right leg across the body and down to the left. See how this side feels. You can prop the leg up with your block if you need to. Again, giving yourself as much slack as you need to make the spine feel like it's resting on the floor. And the option to catch that left foot this time if you did so on the right. And this side may feel different too, so just take your time setting up. Eventually coming to find your stillness here. Gently start to release the right leg long down the mat and release the left leg as well. And let the hips come back to center and see what feels good for the next couple of breaths. And choose stillness here, maybe a gentle windshield wiper. And then you can check in, see if your body's asking for any last quiet stretch or movement, and you can take that. Otherwise, as you're ready, you can set yourself up for Shavasana and choosing any comfortable symmetrical shape. You can do the same shape you did at the start of practice or mix it up a little bit. And again, you're always welcome to rest in a seated meditation or somewhere else. And take your time to set yourself up and get comfortable. Feel the support of the floor. Feel the body get nice and heavy here. And find your stillness once again. Gently bring your attention back to the space. As you feel ready, adding a little movement, wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe pedaling the feet and circling the wrists. Maybe a full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, pointing the toes, wiggling the shoulders and the hips. And you might bring the knees into the chest and wrap their arms around the shins, maybe the forehead to the knees, and give yourself a hug, squeeze, a gentle rock side to side. You can either roll down to one side here or gently start to rock up and down the length of the spine. Doing this as many times as you need. And eventually building up some momentum and coming up to find any comfortable seated position. And settling the hips, and grounding down, and gently lengthening the spine, broadening the chest, softening the shoulders. And as you pause here, take a scan through the body from the feet to the head and just notice. And perhaps bring the palms together in front of the heart and bowing the chin to the chest. And take a moment to thank yourself for your practice. And thank you for sharing your practice today. Namaste. My name is Nicholas, and thank you for joining me for this Yin practice, and enjoy the rest of your day.